Hi, Room 10 kiddos. Last we left off, we were reading chapter 8. So today we're going to read chapters 9 and 10. But what happened? It's been a while since we've read. It's been since last Friday. So what happened in chapter 8? Let's see. Opal went to the library and she made a friend. Remember she made a friend with Miss Franny? So Miss Franny's now her friend. And when she was leaving the library, she ran into Sweetie Pie. And Sweetie Pie's a lot younger than her. Sweetie Pie's 5 years old. But Sweetie Pie invited her to her birthday party. And it's all the way in September, but Opal doesn't care. She now has a friend. She's got a job at the pet store. And she got an invite to a birthday party. Remember she was so alone and sad? And all of a sudden she gets Winn Dixie, and all of a sudden she has friends and invites, and all kind of good things are happening for Opal. So I'm very happy for her. So now we're going to read chapter 9 and see what happens. Let's see if the good stuff continues. Fingers crossed. I want good things for Opal. Just about everything that happened to me that summer happened because of Winn Dixie. For instance, without him, I would never have met Gloria Dump. He was the one that introduced us. What happened was this. I was riding my bike home from Gertrude's Pets, and Winn Dixie was running along beside me. We went past Dunlap and Stevie Dewberry's house, and when Dunlap and Stevie saw me, they got on their bikes and started following me. They wouldn't ride with me. They just rode behind me and whispered things that I couldn't hear. Neither one of them had any hair on his head because their mama shaved their heads every week during the summer because of the one time Dunlap got fleas in his hair from the cat, Sadie. And now they looked like two identical bald-headed babies, even though they weren't twins. Dunlap was 10 years old, like me, and Stevie was 9, but tall for his age. I can hear you, I hollered back at them. I can hear what you're saying. But I couldn't. Winn Dixie started to race way ahead of me. You better watch out, Dunlap hollered. That dog is headed right for the witch's house. Winn Dixie, I called. But he kept on going, faster, and hopped a gate, and went into the most overgrown jungle of a yard that I had ever seen. You better go get your dog out of there, Dunlap said. The witch will eat that dog, Stevie said. Shut up, I told him. I got off my bike and went up to the gate and hollered, Winn Dixie, you better come on out of there. But he didn't. She's probably eating him right now, Stevie said. He and Dunlap were standing behind me. She eats dogs all the time. Get lost, you bald-headed babies, I said. Hey, said Dunlap, that ain't a very nice way for a preacher's daughter to talk. He and Stevie backed up a little. I stood there and thought for a minute. I finally decided that I was more afraid of losing Winn Dixie than I was of having to deal with a dog-eating witch, so I went through the gate into the yard. That witch is going to eat the dog for dinner, and you for dessert, Stevie said. Well, tell the preacher what happened to you, Dunlap shouted after me. By then, I was deep in the jungle. There was every kind of thing growing everywhere. There were flowers and vegetables and trees and vines. Winn Dixie, I said. I heard, this dog sure likes to eat. I went around a really big tree all covered with moss, and there was Winn Dixie. He was eating something right out of the witch's hand. She looked up at me. This dog sure likes peanut butter, she said. You can always trust a dog that likes peanut butter. She was old with crinkly brown skin. She had on a big floppy hat with flowers all over it. And she didn't have any teeth, but she didn't look like a witch. She looked nice. And Winn Dixie liked her. I could tell. I'm sorry he got in your garden, I said. Oh, you ain't got to be sorry, she said. I enjoy a little company. My name's Opal, I told her. My name's Gloria Dump, she said. Ain't that a terrible last name? Dump? My last name is Baloney, I said. Sometimes the kids at school back home at Watley call me lunch meat. Ha! Gloria Dump laughed. What about this dog? What do you call him? Winn Dixie, I said. Winn Dixie thumped his tail on the ground. He tried smiling, but it was hard with his mouth all full of peanut butter. Winn Dixie, Gloria Dump said. You mean like the grocery store? Yes, ma'am, I said. Hoo-wee, she said. That takes the strange name prize, don't it? Yes, ma'am, I said. I was just fixing to make myself a peanut butter sandwich, she said. Do you want one too? All right, I said. Yes, please. Go on and sit down, she said, pointing at a lawn chair with a back all busted out of it. But sit down careful. I sat down careful, and Gloria Dump made me a peanut butter sandwich on white bread. Then she made one for herself and put her false teeth in to eat it. When she was done, she said to me, You know, my eyes ain't too good at all. I can't see nothing but the general shape of things, so I gotta rely on my heart. Why don't you go and tell me everything about yourself so as I can see you, but with my heart? And because Winn Dixie was looking up at her like she was the best thing he had ever seen, and because the peanut butter sandwich had been so good, and because I had been waiting for a long time to tell some person everything about me, I did. Okay, that was chapter 9 of Kate DeCamillo's Because of Winn Dixie. So we left off in chapter 8, where she had made a friend with Miss Franny at the library, and now she made a friend with somebody that some other people had called. What did Stevie and Dunlap call Miss Gloria Dump? They called her a witch. Was she really a witch? No. She was one of the nicest people Opal probably had ever met. And in fact, she gave some peanut butter to Winn Dixie and made a peanut butter sandwich for Opal. So never judge a book by its cover, because people can tell you stuff about other people, but sometimes you have to know for yourself, because you have to give everybody a chance, because sometimes people say lies about people, huh? Because clearly Stevie and Dunlap didn't really know Miss Gloria Dump, because she seems like a really nice person. Winn Dixie likes her, and that's always a good sign when a dog likes somebody. So that was chapter 9. Next, we're going to read chapter 10. Until then, see you, kiddos.